What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Corpse Party Book of Shadows. In the last episode, we kept going with Chapter 6, and we learned a lot about Kizami. We got to see into his childhood a little bit, kind of the thought process behind why he kills things, or the fact that he doesn't really feel anything when he kills people, animals, anything really, that he can take life from. And we're starting to get a bit of an insight into his experience with Heavenly Host thus far. And it's pretty interesting. I can't say I like him, but it's really admittedly difficult to say there are a lot of likable characters in Corpse Party. Actually, now that I think about it, the likable characters in Corpse Party don't stand out as much, and that's why I think it's a little more difficult to point to them. But regardless, thank you guys for sharing your thoughts on Kizami. I know that a couple of you guys are big fans of Kizami, so it was nice to hear some of an outside perspective on it, or, you know, fans of Kizami. Also, I mean, being a fan of Kizami doesn't necessarily mean you agree with Kizami or like what he does or anything like that. You can just appreciate him as a character. The example I always give is Yagami Light from Death Note. Yeah, that's probably enough said about that. Let's move on. What was that? Did I just feel pity for someone? What? My stomach's all growly. Did he just, like, let Yuka go? Did he do that while he was in the middle of a flashback? Yes, that was it, even then. This odd sensation of taking pity on another human being. You're really shaking. Are you alright? I have to go to the bathroom. That badly? Why have you held it in for so long? Wait a minute. Didn't she let it all out? Did all of that never happen? Was that all in Kizami's mind? I was with my big brother until just a moment ago, but we got separated. Didn't you tell your big brother that you needed to use the restroom? I did, but we just kept finding unusable bathrooms. Interesting. Also, something real quick about Chapter 5 that I forgot to mention is I'm still not 100% certain why Chapter 5 is called Shangri-La. Is it, if I recall correctly, and don't quote me on this, but Shangri-La is kind of like the Forbidden City. Is that, or it's like only some people are there. It's really difficult to find, or you're not supposed to go there, but it's like, I don't know. I was thinking maybe if it is this sort of Forbidden City that I'm thinking of it, I think that might represent Morishige and his mentality reaching a sort of forbidden place that he still feels at home and enjoys in. But again, that's probably me just stretching it with knowledge I'm not 100% concrete with. You guys probably know a lot more about it, so I'll leave that to you. But I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on that in case you haven't already directly thought about yourselves. I did, but we just kept finding unusable bathrooms. Computer, please. Controller. Is there something wrong? Technical difficulties. There we go. For those wondering, by the way, I'm using a Super Famicom controller to actually play this. And I thought about going somewhere else, but I didn't want my big brother to see me do that, so what a devoted little sister. Yes, this is just what I've been looking for. Oh no, he's back to his creepy self. A being far weaker than I, whom I'm tasked to protect. This is it. This is exactly it. Oh no. Oh no.
どうしたんですか?
Is something wrong? Kizami? Is this maybe before she was tied up? Maybe that's the case. This is like before he tied her up and everything. If I had this girl by my side, this girl upon whom I could actually take pity, then maybe there could still be a future, even for a man like me. Indeed, if I'm capable of feeling sorry for someone, then maybe there still exists some means of atoning for my sins. If I could just live with this little girl. Is he gonna try and kidnap her? Is he gonna try and kill Satoshi? So, how about it? Will you live with me? Can we... He's gonna let us decide. It's like, live with Kizami. Huh? What? I think I'll be okay on my own. I'll look for my big brother by myself. Yeah, you know, I would probably feel the same way in that situation. By yourself? Oh, is this where Yuka runs? And then we're gonna have Kizami running through the halls. Yuka! Oni-chan da yo! Or something like that. It's like hunting around. Why? After I finally found a little sister. Why must even she distance herself from me? Run, Yuka, run! It's 'cause you're creepy. No, no! Oh, did he catch her? Uh-oh. Run, rabbit, run! I guess this means he's, let's just say Yuka's lost favor in Kizami's eyes. Yikes. Bad, rabbit. You're coming with me. You see, this is what happens when you disobey your big brother, Yuka. So I think it might have been before getting tied up and everything. Another flashback? Oh, nope. Snap back to reality. So there's the context leading up to this situation. We have the context on Kizami's life as to why he feels the way he feels, and now we're back in the present with Yuka not doing so hot. I've been screaming and crying so much that my throat was now bone dry. I couldn't manage any more than a whimper. My throat was actually in a lot of pain. It burned like someone cut it wide open. Kizami had raised the knife as if he were about to kill me, but for some reason he just froze like that. Maybe in an attempt to draw out the fear? And all I could do was lie there, struggling to breathe. Aside from his heavy panting, I could only hear the sound of my own chattering teeth. Yikes. I don't want to die. I want to see my big brother again, even if it's just one last time. I breathed in as deeply as I could, then mustered every last bit of strength I had. I wanted to call out with all my might. I wanted to call for help. Oh, Yuka. No good. The sentiment was there, but the words couldn't possibly have been heard by anyone else, except the person I didn't want to hear them. Big brother won't know to come help me if that's as loud as I can go. Now do we play Satoshi? Oh, darn it. We're still Kizami, we're still in this situation. My strange scream seemed to snap Kizami out of his trance. He brought the tip of his knife down onto my cheek, but didn't break the skin. You do know that no matter how much you scream, no one's going to come save you, right? He was looking down at me with blank, empty eyes. It was like he'd just woken up from a really long dream. A big brother is going to come. I was absolutely certain about that. He may not have found me yet, but I knew he was looking. He was worried and looking all over for me. It was only a matter of time. And Kizami's taking forever. Big brother is my prince after all, and the prince always comes to rescue his princess. Yep, typical Kizami correcting her on the whole Big Brother deal again. We're gonna be here for another hour or two. Hope you guys are ready for the rest of the entire playthrough. It's just gonna be Kizami and Yuka talking back and forth about whether or not Kizami's actually her big brother. He's not coming. After all, he's already here. Your big brother is right here. Oh, he's coming. Shut your mouth. My struggle to get out the words came to an abrupt end as Kizami's hand pressed down hard on my face, covering my nose and mouth and suffocating me. For all the pain and fear I was feeling, I knew I had a chance to fight back, so I opened my mouth and I bit down hard on his palm. Good job. Hopefully he took some skin. I must have bitten even harder than I thought. I could taste his blood. It was warm and minerally and slid down my parched throat, easing a little bit of the pain and dryness. That's gross. He is coming. That's right. Fight back, Yuka. Big brother is coming for sure. I just kept shouting. I didn't care if these were the last words I ever said. I had no regrets. I just wanted to cry out. I really hope Satoshi shows up. I really hope this doesn't go unrewarded. He's not coming! Times 5. Someone knock on the door? Huh? What's going on, Kizami? Huh? It all happened in an instant. Kizami just grabbed his head in both hands and let out a cry of pain that didn't even sound human. Sachiko get to him? What is it? What is this? What the heck is this voice I'm hearing? Did I really want a little sister? So confused. I did. I wanted a little sister. Someone weaker than I. Yes, someone who needed me. Admittedly, wouldn't anyone younger than you probably do? Wouldn't any pet do as well? But was it really a little sister that I wanted? That's right. If I had a little sister, I'd change. What is going on? He grabbed his head again and began stumbling around. He looked like he was in real pain. There were even tears in his eyes. What does it all mean? I don't need a reason. Not now. It's too late for that. I think this is the internal identity struggle. This is who I am now. This is what I've become. Everything is mine. I've stomped out everyone in my way and held my head high the whole time. But Yuka is apparently making him feel remorse. Challenging that identity, I guess. I think I kind of alluded to this last episode as a potential route. Are you okay? Does your head hurt? I have some headache medicine in my pocket. Yeah, that's right. Trigger those emotions, Yuka. Trigger those emotions. You can take some if you want. Yikes. That's right, this is what happens. It's not looking so hot for Kizami. Or Yuka for that matter. Kizami finally triggers some emotions, finally becomes somewhat human, and is about to get sliced in half. How has it come to this? If I had a little sister, maybe I'd have acted more like a big brother should. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'd have been just like my brother when he was crying over me. And it's not looking so hot for Yuka now. Kizami... He fell to his knees and just stayed like that, not moving, maybe not even breathing. Is this maybe the old personality, the actual person inside of this giant man attempting to save a kid, partially trying to be a good person to make up for the actions that he did in real life? A lot of screaming, a lot of yelling going on. Can't imagine Yuka's very comfortable. After another unnerving yell, the huge man with the hammer just stood there, staring at me. He had blood spattered all over him. Somehow, though, I got the impression he wasn't going to attack me. Are you here to save me? He reached one hand toward me, slowly and gently. Don't trust it, don't trust it. Though it may have been a little too slowly, he moved like a zombie, as if I were watching a TV show in slow motion. Huh? What's up with his sprite? It seems like there's kind of like a black shadow behind him now. Well, what's wrong? What is all of this like? Huh? It almost seemed like he was afraid of me, but I was just a little girl tied to a table. What could he possibly think I'd do to him? He would give him the feels. Is there someone else here? He didn't answer. I wasn't even sure he'd heard the question. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me. It's probably Sachiko if I had to guess. I want to know what you're looking at. Yep. Killer. Oh, come on. Don't kill Yuka now. His mournful yell echoed throughout the room. Come on, Satoshi, now! Now is the moment, please! My arms and legs suddenly went slack. I felt like I could move them now. Did he cut the rope instead? Slowly, I opened my eyes and confirmed that this enormous man had just smashed apart the dry knots that were holding my hands and feet in place. I knew I didn't have much time. I tried my hardest to wake up my sleeping hands and feet and shake the broken, splintered ropes from my wrists and ankles. Yeah, you gotta get blood back to those feet real quick so you can start running. Kill her! He's resisting real hard. Run for the door or consider other options. Oh, we actually get to play now. Guys, I think this is our first chance at doing anything. This is our first chance at getting a wrong ending. I'm excited. Alright, so let's see here. Consider other options or run for the door. Honestly, we don't have a confirmed way of actually deducing whether or not we're going to pick the right answer. But I think as a mental exercise, as a thought exercise, it's still fun to do so. So let's consider what happens if we run for the door. If we run for the door, we arguably buy ourselves time while he struggles with resisting Sachiko's orders. Do we even know that the door is unlocked? Honestly, I would say the door is probably not locked. Or, other way around. The door probably is locked, given... Actually, now that I think about it, Kizami, I was going to say, probably would have locked the door. But this guy just barged in here. So the door is probably unlocked. What happens? What else could you consider? It is a chemistry lab, maybe using some of the chemicals to make an explosion, fire, or something like that. And then again, that's hardly reliable. I'm going to say run for the door. Let me know what you guys would do in the comment section below and why. That's also the really fun part to read. After brushing the last piece of rope off my body, I leaped to the ground and began searching the room for the best escape route. The huge man may have freed me from my ropes, but I was clearly still in danger. You gotta try, Yuka. My hands and feet are still numb. I don't know if I can do this. There were still big indented rope burns on my wrists and ankles, limiting my blood circulation. I wouldn't be moving comfortably for a while yet. I mean, yeah, reperfusion injury is definitely a thing. For those of you, I'm actually learning a bit about it. I think I mentioned it back in a different episode. But the idea is, real quick, when your blood cells don't have blood for a while, they don't receive the necessary oxygen to create ATP to maintain the sodium-potassium pump that maintains the ion concentrations in the cell and outside the cell. And as a result, sodium builds up inside the cell, and as a result, water starts to flow into the cell as well, and the cell will swell, reducing its conducting potential, which can actually lead to arrhythmia in the heart and everything. But more importantly, it makes it more difficult to maintain the membrane. There's more tension in the cell membrane, and it also is, being forced to kind of spread out a little bit. But at the same time, you also don't have as much ATP to handle or to maintain the membrane. So there starts to get a little bit of holes and everything like that. And eventually, when you bring in all of this oxygenated blood, all of the oxygen brings with it free radicals, which are able to bind to membrane lipids that start to tear away at it, perforate it, and eventually the cells lyse. And that's why you get a huge inflammation reaction or inflammatory response when you have these sorts of reperfusion injuries and these large areas of necrosis. Sorry, none of you guys probably really cared about that, but that's something I find really interesting. Regardless, let's see if Yuka's able to do anything. Let's see if she can willpower past it for the time being. The back door of the classroom was wide open. It seemed broken, actually. It looked like the huge man must have busted in with his hammer when he came attacking. I decided to make a break for it. First, I tried sidestepping past him, doing everything I could to tread lightly and keep my arms outstretched so the blood would flow to them again. I mean, all you have to do is keep them moving. But then, trip. I heard the floor creak behind me. Huh? I was too late. There was nowhere left to run. Did someone close the door? Of course. Or did he just come after us? The giant hammer struck my right arm, instantly fracturing it severely. The spray of blood from the impact even got in my eyes. Yikes. Guys, I think we might have run into a wrong end as soon as we possibly could have. The huge man raised his hammer in the air again. He swung with perfect precision, and I was down, but he wasn't stopping. Yikes. Both my arms and legs had been completely destroyed. They looked like giant swatted bugs on the desk. Just a mess of bloody chunks. The last swing hit so hard that it broke the whole desk behind me. I found myself rolling painfully onto the ground. When I hit, there was less a thud and more of a plop. Bits of my arms and legs went flying everywhere. And then I realized it wasn't just bits. What was left of my extremities was so damaged that it all literally just snapped off my body. No, this had to be a nightmare. It couldn't be real, could it? It really was like a swatted bug. I looked and felt the part completely. Poor Yuka. I didn't want to give up, even though I knew I was doomed. I tried to roll myself toward the door, but that went about as well as you might expect. My head was stuck on something, and waves of pain were shooting through my entire torso. I wasn't going to last much longer. So I'll take it we didn't really get enough of a good running start towards the door before we got hit. I think that's the rationale here. Welcome! I could see the hammer coming down onto my head. And then for a split second I could see in two opposite directions at once as my skull cracked down the middle like a watermelon. Oh, that's a crushing defeat to say the least. Poor Yuka. Really poor Yuka. I feel so bad for Yuka in this situation. And of course we ended up getting the wrong end. Number 0, wrong end, or number 6, wrong end, number 1. Of course, first opportunity to get a wrong end. That's just, it's what's gotta happen. It wouldn't be one of my playthroughs of Corpse Party if it weren't. So, regardless, I hope you guys are enjoying this chapter thus far. I hope you're enjoying now that something a bit more exciting is going on, in my opinion. Of course, all the character development is really cool, and I do appreciate that, but it is nice to kind of get back into making decisions and seeing potential plot trees and all that. I do find that quite interesting. So, we are going to continue and we're going to consider other options, whatever they may be, in the next episode. But until then, this has been Night Zero, and this mission is complete.